Earnestly podcast here. You got the man, of course, Zack, the Degenerate. You got Krizmanic, the professor, of course.
Cheers.
Fellas, what's going on?
Just getting high.
Nothing wrong with that. So we did this last year, and it was a lot of fun, very controversial last year. This too. We ranked the top 25 players in the NBA. We were going to do top 10 at first, but then we realized that it's more fun to do 25 because I feel like the conversation be from 11 through 25 is actually more intriguing than the top 10. I mean, anybody for the most part, people can put together a top 10 list. It may have certain team guys in order, different orders, but we can have the same guys in the same top 10. 11-25 is a lot more complicated. So we had fun with this last year. Hot takes abound. I remember last year, Kris had his hot take on Kawhi and Kawhi being top 5 player in the league at the time, which was fucking crazy, obviously. But
I thought his hottest take was where he had LeBron.
He had him what?
Like number 2?
No, he's not.
No, I don't remember where he had him. I just remember I had LeBron the lowest, and you guys made me feel bad.
Yeah. What did you have LeBron last year, Kris?
No, I had LeBron lowest. I had him at 12 last year.
Yeah, I had him. I think at 9 or 8, maybe.
No, you had him way higher. You had him the highest of anybody.
I had him 12 last year. 12 or 11. I had him 12 or 11. You guys were shocked that I had him outside the top 10.
Ernest had him like top 5. Like I had to berate you.
Yeah, I said for sure I'd have him lowest, and you guys couldn't believe I had him outside top 10. Still outside my top 10.
No, I had him 7 last year. I had him 7 last year, I think. I'm looking right now. All right, so we're going to do this again like we did last year. Ranking. Actually, no, I'm sorry. I had him 5. Sorry, 5.
Delusional.
I found my list from last year. So, all right, so we'll do it again. Top 25 players in the league. We'll go 25 to 1. I'll pick one. You pick one. We go from there. We debate it and all that. I'll go first. 25 for me. Hold on, wrong list. That's last year's list. Anthony Davis 25 last year. 25 for me this year. Tyrese Haliburton. Indiana. He's got to get love, man.
I'm glad you have him in top 25 this year.
I mean,
I know.
The only reason why I consider taking him out was because of the injuries. But again, when he was there last year, he was phenomenal. And again, we said it on the preview podcast. He was actually that team was a 6th seed going into like the second quarter of the third quarter of the season, and before he got hurt. So Haliburton, I expect big things from the Haliburton this year, the Pacers. So 25 for me is Haliburton. 25 for you, Zack.
Well, since we're not even going to discuss honorable mentions, at 25, I got Markkanen.
Ooh,
look, after
what
he did last year and what I expected him to do this coming season, he's a top 25 player.
He's like 26.
You may not like it because he's a white boy playing in Utah, but facts are facts.
He's very high on the honorable mentions list for me. 25, I'm telling you guys, I'm for sure have him lower than both of you guys. But it's not because I think he's not talented enough. It's because I think the team itself and the team success and his stats will suffer. I have Anthony Edwards 25.
Okay. I mean, he's on my list, but he's not much higher than you. So I can see a point there. All right, it's cool. All right, 24 for me. And this is tough because this guy has barely played, but when he plays, he's impactful. I went Zion at 24. Zion.
High 5.
You have him 24 also too?
I have him at 24.
Because
I was debating, do I do him 24 or him 25?
Because, again, when he's healthy, it's not just he's great. That team is great. That team was a 2 seed, the first third of the year when he got hurt. So we saw how the team responded when he was healthy. Now, in fact, if he was healthy, actually, normally, he'd be a fucking top 5 player in the list. That's why he's at 24.
He'd be fringe top 12, yeah.
No, stop that. Stop. If Zion was healthy,
he'd be top 10.
If fine, top 10. He'd be an MVP candidate, put it that way. We were talking about him as an MVP candidate in December last year. So 24, good job on that, Zack. 24 for you, Kris.
Give me his teammate, the guy who actually plays and carried them to the play-in, Brandon Ingram. He's shown that no matter who's healthy, who's not, he's putting up stats and he's getting his buckets and he's carrying the team. He's winning games. I think I had him the exact same spot or 25 last year.
I think I had him last year.
Yeah.
Same thing, around the same thing. Yeah,
And,
he was close to mine also too. He was close to my list also.
Give me Brandon Ingram because the man plays. Zion doesn't play. I can't have him on the list.
Yeah,
he was on my list last year. I took him off.
And honestly, it was the reason on my list though is there's a lot of guys that made jumps last year that made the list.
Yeah.
So that has nothing to do with him. He's still great. He's honorable mention for me personally. So, all right, 23 for me. This is the guy. One of the guys made a jump last year on my list. It's a bonus in Sacramento. Donis Sabonis was fantastic. 13 All NBA last year.
Yeah, he was fantastic.
So 23 for me, it's a bonus. I have to give him some love. Zach, 23 you got.
At 23, I have Anthony Edwards.
See?
You know, I like him a little more than you, Kris. But you know what you said was right. You know, you were good.
Give me Ty Halliburton at 23.
There you go. I like it.
20 and 10, stud. He's a leader. He's a face of the franchise leading player.
Yep. All right, 22 for me. Another guy that's normally a top 10-ish guy when healthy, but the injuries have been a problem as of late, and he's getting a little older now. Podcast P himself, Paul George, 22. I mean, again, if he was healthy, he'd be in the top 15 easy. But the injuries.
Easy top 15.
When he's healthy, yeah. When he's healthy.
Yeah.
When he's not
I had
healthy.
him like top 15 last year.
Yeah.
I know. And I mocked you for that. I mocked you for him being on your list. So
It's okay. All right. But I got 22 with Paul George. For you, 22, who you got, Zach?
I still want to discuss how we haven't kicked 22 off your list. But at 22, I have Sabonis.
Same spot. We're in the same range. I like that. I love it. 22 for you, Kris.
So I had Paul George on the list, and then I knocked him off for an ascending wing player, his position, essentially the new Paul George. Give me Mikal Bridges at 22. He's going to have a monster year. That man, even when he got to Brooklyn, even though they underachieved at where they were in the standings at the time, still carried them to the playoffs and the 6th seed. They didn't have to play in because that man came in and was balling out of his mind. I think that continues. Even though he's going to put up inflated stats on a bad team, he's good and plays winning basketball.
Yeah. That's a very, very good pick. Look, I didn't even consider him, but I respect that pick. All right, 21 and Edwards. So not, like I said, not much higher. And honestly, I actually moved him down another spot a minute ago. So, I want to see the leap. We know he's great. It's a player. Can we see the leadership take over now? Can we see him be, as Zack said on the previous podcast earlier? Can we see the leadership the next level? Can you see the alpha act like an alpha for a team that we all believe is going to implode this year? We shall see. But in terms of like his talent, his impact at the FIBA games this past summer, the guy's an alpha. The guy's a great player. You got to give him credit. So 21 for me and Edwards. 21 for you, Zachary.
You want me to start with the good or the bad?
Go to bad first. Always said to go bad first.
Right. So, because of his behavior and his dumbass behavior at that, I just couldn't put this guy in my top 20. I could not utter his name and say he is a top 20 guy. Now, for the good, there's only like 3-4 guys in the league I want to watch, and he's one of them. He is so exciting. Kris?
It's got to be Ja.
Yeah.
It's Ja. Yeah.
Yes. Yes, it is.
I respect that. I really do. You'll see why in a second. Go ahead, Kris. 21 for you.
Give me De'Aaron Fox at 21.
Ooh, okay. I like that.
That's a little rough on that man. Did you see what he did last year?
Yeah, but he's not the best player on his team.
You sure he's not the best player on his team? You sure?
He's not the best player on his team.
It's a bonus?
Wow.
Okay. Well, Zach, I said I feel you on the job thing because I have him at 20 for the same reason.
Mm-hmm.
For the same reason, you got to penalize him. He's not going to miss. He's going to miss a third of the year.
Missed 25 games. Yeah.
Yeah, number one. Number two, they actually do play well without him too as well.
Not well. They play great. They play great. They have like an 800 win percentage without him.
They really do.
It's some ungodly win number.
And it's not to say they don't need him, but it does devalue him a little bit on the list. When he added the legal issues now, you have to weigh those in. So yeah, I'm with you. John Morant 20 for me. 20 for you, Zach. What you got?
Oh, at 20, I have Halliburton.
I like it. Love it. Love it. Love the respect he's getting.
He deserves top 20 status.
Yes. I like that. 20 for you, Kris.
I know he's not on either one of your lists, but he's a champion. He's a bona fide star. Give me Spicy P, Pascal Siakam.
He was on my list until this morning.
Give me Pascal Siakam.
Right. I just don't know where he's going to be this end of the year. I don't know what's going on.
He's just an honorable mention now. He's an all-NBA guy, but he's an all-NBA guy because there's a very lacking of power forwards and centers in this league.
Right. I agree with that. All right, 19 for me. After these 2 years, I have to give him love. You've seen two franchises change in the blink of an eye by his presence and lack of presence. Jalen Brunson.
Fucking cheers!
19 also?
Yes!
There you go, baby. Yes! Look, it says something that the team you play for goes to the West Finals 1 year. You leave the team. The team's the exact team outside of you. They not only missed the play-in, they missed the playoffs, but the play-in entirely. And that's with getting Kyrie Irving in the back end of the year. Okay. Meanwhile, the team you go to goes from a non-playoff team to not only being a playoff team, but winning a fucking playoff series. And we're 2 wins from an East Conference Finals appearance. And that's all because Jalen Brunson. Give that man his flowers. Through 1 year, the best value contract in the history of the NBA. Period. Good job, Zach, by the way, on that one. 19. Sorry, Kris. 19.
Somehow, Julius Randle did develop a sick three-pointer and just became an all-around destructive player as well. It's not just all Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson was my guy that I had to boot off the list.
Oh, my God.
Give me the guy that he crushed in the playoffs 2 years in a row on 2 different teams. Give me Donovan Mitchell at 19.
Wow. Ooh, interesting.
Because Donovan Mitchell couldn't get past Jalen Brunson, he stays down. I had him a little higher last year, but because of that reason, Kim disappearing in the playoffs and really letting Cleveland down, I've got Mitchell way down there now.
I respect it, but
I boosted Mitchell for what he did during the season last year. He was an MVP candidate for most of the season.
Yeah, more on that later.
I had like 14
and by the way, I'm still modifying my as we're doing this. I'm still modifying my list. Still, like tweaking it a little bit here and there. 18 for me. You mentioned it earlier. I think who was it mentioned? I think De'Aaron Fox. It was me. Oh, it was you, one of you guys.
That was Kris.
18 Fox for me. De'Aaron Fox, 18. The maturity that guy showed last year, and then didn't melt down the playoffs either. Show me something. The guy was one of the most clutch, if not the most clutch player in basketball last year. There's value in that.
He was.
He won an award for it, actually, I think, if I'm not mistaken. The inaugural clutch player of the year. So yeah.
The Kobe Award.
Yeah, it's an award. Yeah, it was the first year last year. So give me De'Aaron Fox at 18. 18 for you, Mr. Zack.
Kris, this is out of total respect for you, man. This is about respect. This is about a legacy a guy once had.
Chris Paul.
No, God, fuck no.
He's got the same.
We ain't even doing top 50 on Chris Paul.
I've got Kawhi at 18. You got Kawhi at 18?
Kawhi at 18, baby.
I have Kawhi at 18. That's the craziest shit.
Yes.
I have Kawhi at 18 as well.
I had to put him on the list because second half of the season, he was valuable. Maybe he's going to start to show up. And God damn it, he deserves a little love.
That's kind of cute, guys, because I have Kawhi at 17. That's kind of cute.
17 or 27?
17.
Okay.
Kawhi. Because again, it's like Zion last year. When Kawhi was there on the Clippers, that was literally a title team. That was a title contender right there. You saw. And that series against Phoenix, the first 2 games when he played, they could have taken that series in 7 games without Paul George.
Mm-hmm.
He gets hurt in game 2, series over, obviously. Kawhi went healthy, changes teams. It's frustrating because like we're not knocking Kawhi's talent. We're not doing that. We're knocking Kawhi's availability. That's all it is. Because we know when he is on that court, he is a fucking probably a top 3 player. If we're being perfectly honest now. Top 3 player. So, but we have to also weigh in the injuries now. Like I'm expecting him to miss 20 plus games this year. That's what it is now with Kawhi Leonard. But same idea. You have 18. I got him at 17. So same idea. Zach, 17 for you.
This is my first alteration of the night. I'm flipping these 2 guys.
Mm-hmm.
And it's out of respect for both of you.
Okay. Tyler Hero?
No. Close. Fox.
Okay.
I'm dropping them down my list 1 spot. He was amazing last year.
Absolutely.
I honestly don't even know where he could go from here. When you were so clutch in the fourth quarter last year of every game, I don't know where he goes. And I was flipping it back and forth in my head because Sabonis makes my top 25, and the guy just above him that I moved up has no one in the top 25. So, Fox, he dropped 1 spot, but I got him to 17.
There's space for him to crack the top 3 point guards in the league right now because Steph will be Steph, but
Steph's no longer going to be allowed to be a point guard.
Right, and Steph could only go down from here at this point now. Steph can't get better than he is now, number 1, okay? Yeah. Lillard, same thing, can't get better than he is now. The only other point guard that's ascending now is SGA. And De'Aaron Fox.
Ja?
Well, again, Ja has to show up and not get in trouble with fucking law, first off. Let's start there.
Well, he didn't get in trouble with law on the fucking
last one, right? I get it, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, he has to stop being a dumbass.
Yeah. So there is room for Fox to be a top 2 or 3 point guard in the league in the next year or 2 because, again, Steph, to Zach's point, won't be considered a point guard anymore, but also Steph, I'm not saying he's going to decline immediately, but he's probably peaked. He's probably peaked or at his peak. He's not getting better than he is now.
Oh, so I agree, just from the running standpoint.
Right. So
the amount of screens that he goes through.
Right. I'm just saying that there's room for Fox to crack that. You say another leap to go. There's room for him being a top number 1, number 2 point guard in the league.
If he gets his 3-point percentage to the higher 30s,
he's
absolutely top.
He has to stroke. He has to stroke for it. He has to stroke. So
he's in the low 30s now. He gets to the high 30s. He's ascending. That's why I have him at 21.
Right. So 17 for you, Kris?
Give me his teammate, the guy who runs that team, Domantas Sabonis.
I love it. Love it. So fun to watch those 2 players play together, the pick and roll. Oh, my God.
He does every single thing. Defense, steals, blocks, assists, rebounds, scoring, every single thing.
Mm-hmm. All right, 16 for me is the new highest paid player in NBA history. Give me Jaylen Brown.
Get out. Me too.
Really? Good job.
Y'all are fucking disrespectful.
To who?
No, man. He
got exposed. To a man who's been to what? 5 conference finals now.
But again, Zach,
he got exposed, man.
But Zach, don't forget, he was in my 20s. Remember, he was in my 20s last year. Don't forget that. Number 2, there are guys now that this last year that made leaps.
Made leaps to what? 5 conference finals and
no,
6
I'm saying
years?
I'm talking as an individual player.
Yeah, he's been at least the number 2 and the number 1 at times in games during every one of those playoff runs. Oh my God!
He and Tatum,
y'all are some disrespectful.
No,
now I'm curious.
He and Tatum has grown big time. They were pretty close, maybe like 7 spots away from each other before. There is a 10-spot gap between him and Tatum now.
And Brown.
There's not enough of it. There's not 10 spots to be a gap between those 2 guys in this league right now.
There is.
I'm the guy that said you had to pay that guy. I'm the guy that said this guy was an All-NBA guy last year. I'm the guy that defended on Jaylen Brown. I'm the guy that said on this podcast for about 4 or 5 years now that out of every player on that team, he scares me more than anybody else because of how streaky he is. Okay, but again, he had moments last year where he would disappear, especially in that series of Miami. In Game 7 when Tatum got hurt,
turnovers.
Yeah, he disappeared. Sorry,
and freaking insane.
So Kris has a 16 as well too. Who did you have a 16, Mr. Zach?
I got Shea. I got SGA.
Ooh, I got a much higher than that. Ooh,
really?
16?
Yes. This is the guy that in a league with De'Aaron Fox ascending, in a league with Steph Curry still being the man, in a league with Damian Lillard still existing, and then winning a scoring title, he made first team All NBA last year. I am stunned him that low.
Oh, was it because Damian Lillard sat out for like 2 fucking months at the end of the year when people started to pay attention for voting? Was it because, I don't know, Steph Curry was hurt for a month and you had his second best player on the team out for half the season? Gee, I wonder why Shea was the number 1. Are you
suggesting he didn't deserve it?
I'm saying just like the Heat caught breaks, he caught breaks to be All NBA first team last year.
Fair point, but he balled his ass out last year.
Was
number 2 in scoring last year, 3 in scoring last year, 2 in scoring last year. He was top 3 in scoring last year.
The thing is, he went to 30 points per game, but his efficiency went up. He shot better from the field.
Okay,
deny that.
Here's what I'll ask you.
Okay, go ahead.
With Curry, say you gave Curry that same young talent with that same athleticism that SGA has. You think he might have done a little better than losing in the second round to the Lakers? Because I sure do. I think OKC has better talent at this point than Golden State.
Now,
when healthy,
even last year.
Well,
last year they rolled out last year.
We didn't have that home. Well, last year to the time we didn't know because last year these guys were young and fresh. Now we know that now.
Okay,
and that's without Chet playing last year. Don't forget that. So all right, so 16 you got SGA. We both got Jaylen Brown. 15 for me, Donovan Mitchell. And mind you, he moved up my list from last year. So. He had a great year. I think he was second team All-NBA last year, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So, 15 for me, Don Mitchell. Zach, he got 15.
I'm probably the only guy who has this man on this list. And I can't believe I'm going to utter his fucking name now. But for the first 5 months of the NBA season, he was outstanding as an individual.
I know you're going with this one.
He is not a team leader, but he is a damn great scorer. Damian Lillard.
Oh. Okay. 15. Go ahead, Kris. 15 for you.
Ja. He's out 25 games no matter what. Mm-hmm. He's a knucklehead, but he's a top. We all had him top 10 last year. So
we did. Well, Zack and I penalized his ass massively this year.
Yeah, give me him at 15. That's solid.
Yeah. All right, 14 for me. This guy's story is fantastic. Great. Probably should be comeback player of the year as well. I think he might have won it too. I'm not sure. NBA champion now too. Jamal Murray, 14. the impact of what he did. And look, as good as Jokic was last year, and Jokic deserves his flowers, you know that. One of the best runs we've ever seen, playoff runs we've ever seen. They don't win that title without Jamal Murray playing at peak level that he did last year. And Jamal Murray was fucking fantastic. And the strange part about him, too, he got better as the playoffs progressed. He got even better. He was better in the finals than he was the rest of the playoffs.
Well,
Yeah.
he had fresher legs than anybody.
Well, yeah, he's healthier now, of course,
Yeah.
but yeah, give guys flowers. I mean, we're talking about point guards ascending and guys that are ascending to be, in that Curry spot and all that. Jamal Murray's in that conversation now too. So give me Jamal Murray 14. Zach, what you got?
At 14, I have Donovan Mitchell.
Okay.
All right, look, you know what he was for 3/4 of the season last year? Top 2 or 3 MVP candidate.
Mm-hmm.
So he is a great offensive player who can play defense on occasion.
Okay. You didn't tell us like a dude here did.
I had him there last year, and I bumped him down because Jalen Brunson showed him who daddy was. So,
But yet you won't reward Jalen Brunson being top 25 as a result. I don't understand that.
he's like 26.
Okay, fine. 14 for you.
You do have to give a little credit to the regular season. I mean, in order to make the playoffs, you have to do something in the regular season.
Yeah.
Well, I see the rest of his team being so much better that his stats will suffer a little this year too.
Okay.
You guys are a year behind. See, I had him high last year where he deserved to. Going into this year, I think Garland ascends, Mobley ascends. I think that team gets a little better
that's
around
the
him.
thing. You keep thinking Mobley is going to keep ascending. Maybe he's reached his plateau.
Right.
No.
Okay. So 14 for you, Kris. What do you got?
Give me Dame, baby. Dame time.
Okay.
Revitalize in a new place. Give me Dame at 14.
All right. So 13 for me. Hold on, I'm actually modifying here right now. I got Dame as well too. He's number 2 now, so I gotta reward accordingly. You know what I mean? So this is 13, right? We said 13.
Yeah, 13 coming up.
Yeah, sorry, I'm modifying my son's here too. What's up, buddy? Go ahead, Zach. Give me 13 in the meantime.
So a guy who will probably be in the top 10 after this season, but he just hasn't done enough, and he's also not asked to do as much. Give me Jamal Murray at 13.
I have Jamal Murray at 13 as well. Same
See,
thing.
I like when there's some cohesion here.
Yeah, he played good enough defense, team ball. He's just a winner now. Give me him at 13. I think next year he passes all the old heads that are going to drop down.
Yeah, and he kind of needs that one more year of playoffs just to check it off the list.
But there's at least 2 guys for sure that are going to be below him next year. That I have the next 2 guys on my list.
All right, real quick. So you have 13 yet? Who, Zach?
We both have Jamal Murray.
Murray, okay, good job. We're in the same spot here. Okay. 12 for me, Anthony Davis.
I got Anthony Davis.
There we go.
Kris? What he showed, I can't put him top 10 because I know he's never going to be healthy enough.
That's it.
But I'll put him borderline. I'll go borderline.
Again, when he's healthy, he's top 5 in the league. When healthy.
I know you guys. I had this guy top 10. I've been saying this guy's been top 10 for a long time, but I think this is when Father Time catches up to him after a deep run last year. I got Jimmy at 12.
Okay.
He did too much last year for him to come back as top 10 player this year.
Yeah.
I had him at like 8 or 9 last year, but this year he's dropping to 12.
Yeah. All right. 11 for me. I got SGA. First team NBA, man. I'm sorry. You got to reward that, man. In a league with Steph Curry and those guys, and I know Zach made the points about, well, this guy missed time, and I get all that. I actually respect that. But this guy left an imprint on that team last year. and I think this year is going to translate to a playoff spot. I mean, you guys are high on the team this year, so yeah. Number 11, SGA for me. 11 for you, Zach.
So I'm high on OKC because of Chet coming in and adding to that team.
He'll add to what SGA put together, but SGA's foundation, yeah.
So we're on what, 11 now?
Yeah.
Okay, 11. I have Brown. All right, I'd take Jaylen Brown out of the top 10 after how he performed in the playoffs.
Who's top 10 for you last year?
He was damn near, and all during the season, I had him top 10.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
Yeah. He had performed well enough during the regular season to be a top 10 player. And to have no ball handling skills at times in the playoffs, I had to take him out. So he's my number 11.
Give me the GOAT at number 11. Give me LeBron. He's right outside the top 10. I had him 11 or 12 last year.
You did.
In the same spot. He did his thing last year, but the defense is gone completely. He plays defense 5 minutes a game now. So that's where you lose. Because, stat-wise, he's top 5. But because he only plays one way now, he's out of the top 10.
Nor should he be asked to play defense anyway at his age. Come on now. No one's asked at 39 years old to play defense at a high level. Come on, stop. We moving goalposts for LeBron James now? Oh, because LeBron, we don't like him. Oh, he can play defense now. Let's stop.
No, but every guy in my top 10 plays both ways. So.
No, right. To your point. And I agree with you. And great segue to the top 10. Kris, thank you. Because number 10, I have LeBron James.
Yep.
You too?
Yes. He only dropped a spot for me.
Yeah. Well, the fact that you have him in the top 10 still, I respect that. Because you saw Kris being a hater of LeBron James. You're probably the other hater on this podcast.
Well, I'm the realist, and you have to realize that what he did was top 10 material. Now, yes, he doesn't play defense. Yes, he takes nights off. Yes, he gets a lot of his stats during garbage time and garbage quarters, but in the end, he gets it done. Now, we saw in the playoffs, especially in that final game, he wanted to be the man, and for one quarter he was, and then he was fully gassed.
Right.
So, age is catching him, but
of course, the fact that we have LeBron James playing high level at 39 years old is pretty fucking incredible.
Unbelievable.
We ain't seen this shit. We ain't ever seen this again. You know that, right? Just letting you guys know.
Never.
So, all right. 10 for you, Kris.
Give me AD. He's one spot ahead of LeBron. I had him the same way last year. He's only at 10 because of his health.
Yeah.
He should be top 4 in the league. But he can't stay healthy. So he's 10.
All right,
he took him to the fucking Western Conference Finals last year.
Yes, he did. He was the reason.
That man played out of his mind on the defensive end and the offensive end. But when he gets hurt, he's going to miss 20 games in the regular season at least. That's a fact.
Which means he won't get the MVP conversation because he'll be under the threshold. So, yeah. All right, number 9 for me, Devin Booker.
Yeah.
Well, Stephen A. calls him the next Kobe Bryant because of how an assassin he is. I see some of that in some degree. Great shooter. He's obviously become a much better basketball player as we see him get older. I wish he would have drafted him, but whatever. Booker at number 9 for me. 9 for you, Zach.
I got Devin Booker.
There you go.
I don't even need to talk.
Yeah, you already know.
You got my list at this point, I bet. So
yeah. Well, I think these next 9 are going to be pretty much in the pocket. It's a matter of where they're located. That's all.
Not for me, but
we'll see.
I got KD 9.
So
I think he's the older of the two.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's on the way down. Booker's on the way up. I got KD at 9.
So here's why I don't hate that. I don't have it like that, but here's why I don't hate that, Kris. When we started putting together our list this summer, our preliminary list over the summer, he was number 9 for me on my list actually in July. He was, and then I started to do some reevaluating and let some time pass away and really think about it. The only reason I had him that low initially was because of the fact of the injuries also too. But again, when he's healthy, he's You see how good their teams are that he plays on. So
He was he made the 50-40-90 club last year.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all still there, but he's hurt
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, that's the only thing. All right, 8 from me. Jimmy Butler. This will be the last year, I think, though, we'll see him as a top 10 player in the league. Because, again, to Chris's point, the injuries, the age, all that, and he had too many. And largely this, we have way too many ascending players in the league now that are going to catch up to him on this list. And it's only fair. It's only fair that happens, okay? So the fact that Jimmy Butler at age 34 is even considered a top 10 player and come up with another finals berth is pretty impressive as number one guy. So, and I think he clinches his Hall of Fame candidacy after this past season. So, Jimmy Butler number 8 for me. Zach, 8 for you?
Jimmy Butler.
There you go. We're going to be in the pocket the rest of the way. I know that for a fact. So,
all right, give me Devin Booker. He's an all-around player now. He plays defense now.
Sure does.
He's a playmaker. He scores. He does it all. Give me Booker at 8.
What you're saying now, though, by saying Booker number 8, is that he's their best player, not KD.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Beal's like 28, 30.
Who had Beal on the list last
year?
Zach got mad about last. Remember last year? Zach got mad about that?
I had Beal on my list last year, like 20 something. Yeah,
I think I did too, also. And then he got mad.
Both you guys did. I blew an aneurysm.
Yeah.
The only reason why I don't have him on my list this year is because he's not going to get a chance to put up those stats.
Well, not only that, there are too many good players that last year.
Still didn't fucking learn he's not a top 25 player?
And not only that, there are too many ascending players that have surpassed him now.
Plus, they're asking him to play point guard this year, so he's going to facilitate a lot more. It's a different role for him. It's going to be a different year for him. It's a transitional year for him, but he's still up there. He could definitely make the list next year for sure.
Number 7 is going to sound controversial because he went down my list this year, despite winning the MVP, Joel Embiid. Because what he did, I'm not saying it's his fault completely, but him not showing up in that series against Boston when you had a 3-2 series lead going home to clinch, when you had even you guys stealing a game 1 where he didn't even play game 1 because James Harden stole that game for you guys, and you couldn't close the deal. And I'm an Embiid fan. Trust me, I love Embiid. I think he's fantastic. But when we're talking about top 10 guys, top 5 guys, top 7 guys, it's a game of inches, brother. Sorry. You have to at some point at least get to conference final. You have the team, an adequate team to do that, and you haven't done it yet. So I have to look at you a little more broadly. So he went down one spot, I think 1 or 2 spots, one spot this year, despite winning MVP. Joel Embiid number 7.
Doc Rivers is the reason why they blew that.
Well, yeah, no doubt. Yeah, and he's gone for a reason.
So, one, I got to talk to both of you about a lot of your shit here in the last 2 picks. All right. I thought I was the one who killed a lot of brain cells just a minute ago. But first off, you had Embiid as your MVP. Mm-hmm. You cannot have an MVP be not in your top 5. All right. That's a freaking, you shouldn't be allowed to have your MVP not in the top 3 because you're only voting first, second, and third nowadays in the NBA for the MVP. So to not put him in your top 5 is ridiculous.
Well, when you see my top 5, Zach,
no.
You understand why?
Because you bitched about how he was the MVP. You cannot be MVP of the entire league.
And that statement should show you just how disappointing that playoff run was.
Yeah. So, next.
The reason Jimmy's in my top 10 is because while he wasn't a top 10 player during the year, playoff time, he showed up. Went to the finals.
Next. Now, I know I work a lot of nights during the NBA season, even during the playoff season, Kris. But you know who doesn't show up when the games actually matter? I'm not talking 1, 2, or 3, or when I have a 2-0 or 3-0 lead. I'm talking when it's 3-3 or you're down a game and you're facing elimination. You know who doesn't show up?
Jason Tatum.
Booker. Booker doesn't know how to show up when the games really matter.
So he's 7 for you?
No, that's why Booker was 9.
9. Okay.
You know who shows up every game? His teammate. Now, when he is healthy, he always shows up. He can take 10 shots and put up 30 points. Devin Booker can take 30 shots and not score 10 points.
Fair enough. Okay. I don't want to get mad at me. Wait. I don't want to get mad at me for other than the Embiid pick. Last 2 picks, it seems like
because I have been waiting to correct both of y'all, and I got to do it because KD is number 6 or number 7. Number 7.
Okay. I think you're personally being dramatic there, but okay.
No, because again, you're a guy who wants to put someone in the MVP and then say, no, you're not even top 5.
Well, again, I explained to you, and that's like like Trump now. Talk my hands now.
You got to be careful with that hand doing the OK sign. Be careful now. It looks a little different.
That's true. Yes, this is true. But again, I explained to you that should tell you how disappointing was in the playoff run. Remember, I had a number 6 last year.
Oh yeah, I was totally disappointed.
There you go. So 7 for you is 6 for you. 7 for you is KD, right?
KD at 7.
All right, 7 for you, Mr. Krizmanic.
Give me the guy that you guys are both sleeping on. Ascending superstar. Give me SGA at number 7.
Wow, he went high in this one. I thought I was being sexy with number 11.
No, that man is a bona fide superstar, first team All NBA.
Oh no, I'm with you.
He's only going to get better with a better supporting cast.
Mm-hmm.
You take that next leap when your efficiency matches your increased output. The man did it all last year.
And his game was smooth.
Take away with him.
And his game was smooth.
And then
too.
he just doubled down and showed you in the FIBA championships that he was the best player on the court in the world there.
And his game was smooth for the record. Very smooth.
That was not what I saw from those FIBA games, but okay.
All right. Number 6 for me. This is where it got difficult for me because as you guys listen to this podcast, especially you listeners, of course, you guys know that we've had an ongoing conversation. I think you guys were even involved in this conversation last year a couple of times on a couple episodes last year during the playoffs. Is this guy top 5? He's not top 5. Blah, 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 blah. And I went back and forth. I went back and forth all the way through the playoffs last year.
I feel like we have the same guy, 6, all of us.
No, we don't.
Okay, so I'm putting this at number 6 with the thinking that by the end of next year he'll probably be a top 3 player in the league. Jason Tatum, number 6. Zach.
All right. So at 6 is a guy who I truly believe should have been the runner-up to the MVP last year. At 6 is a guy I watched get less post-up moves than Steph Curry, a 6'4" guard.
I know where he's going with this one.
I have a 7-foot-tall, 300-pound guy who is afraid to play down low.
He's going there.
And yet apparently won a fucking MVP because you can't give a white guy an MVP 3 years in a row. Am I wrong?
But wait,
Am I wrong?
You can't say
because I watched what I watched.
You're gonna get me canceled.
You just did what you got mad at Ernest for putting him outside the top 5. Now you're putting him outside the top
5. Yeah,
I'm still putting him outside the top 5, but I didn't think he deserved MVP.
Look, he just wants to be dramatic, Kris.
I said he was runner up.
Oh God!
And I wanted to bring a point that Steph Curry had more post-ups during the playoffs than Embiid.
To your point, though, Zach, you did bitch about that during the Boston series in the playoffs.
Oh, I couldn't stop. I could not stop.
Anytime when to post up, go ahead and post up, buddy.
Derek White posted him up.
Yep. Joel Embiid 6, right?
Yes.
I got Tatum at 6, so I thought we were all gonna have Tatum at 6. He's just right on the precipice of being outside the top 5.
I'm gonna say what I said during the year last year. You give Jason Tatum Jimmy Butler's heart, he's the best player in basketball. That simple, just that simple. Because Tatum is way more talented than Jimmy Butler is. They ain't close on talent.
Oh, yeah.
It's just the heart.
And if you give Steph Curry Jason Tatum's body, he'd be the best player in the NBA.
Oh no, of all time. He's better than Jordan. He's better than LeBron.
Okay. Thank you.
There you go. So yeah. All right. So Tatum is 6 for you, Embiid for you at 6, Zach, and Tatum for me at 6 as well. Number 5. After adjusting through the summer, I readjusted him. Kevin Durant, number 5. Again, I went back and forth on 5 and 6 with Durant and Tatum. Honestly, Tatum is the ascending player, but I just gotta see more, man.
Okay.
More.
So what do you need to see more of Tatum do? He need to go join a super team?
No, he needs to be more.
You know what?
Be more assertive. Be more assertive.
Be more assertive. He was the number 1 guy taking a team to the NBA Finals. Oh, and we're not talking 5 years ago, 6 years ago. We're talking last year.
Yeah.
Okay. Jason Tatum deserves top 5 status.
No, you can't lose to the Heat. You can't lose to the Heat.
You can't lose to the Heat.
You
got to have Jaylen Brown know how to dribble a basketball.
Yeah,
you got to have Marcus Smart be able to hit a three.
You're number 11. You're number 11 for the record. The guy you put him way too high, but go ahead.
Way too high. How many Eastern Conference Finals has he been to?
A lot.
Okay.
Jason Tatum, if they make the finals last year, he's 5.
Wait. If you're using that logic, though, Zach, then Jimmy Butler's been in top 5 then because he went to 3 in the last 4 years.
Why do you think he's top 7 or top 8? Oh crap! I balled up my list.
No. That's number 8. Number 8. We had the same list. Okay, we had the same list. We had the same spot. So
yeah.
Follow me. We're good.
Look, you guys are being so disrespectful to a guy who actually earns it.
Wait, who's 5 for you? Who's 5?
Tatum.
Okay, he's one spot. He's one spot off. We don't
y'all being disrespectful.
All right, number 6. Probably 5B. Like, come on.
I dropped Embiid where he should be at 5 because the MVP should not be outside of the top 5, but he is at 5 because he's not him. And I think he might be in for a injury plagued year this year, but until he gets hurt again, you can't deny that he's led the league in scoring for a center in today's game to lead the league back-to-back years in scoring. Can't deny it. He still plays good defense. He gets his blocks, gets his rebounds. The best player. Give me Embiid at 5.
You had him last year at 3, right? Or 4, right?
I had him and Joker back to back at like.
I thought you had Embiid at 2.
No.
Giannis
and
oh no, I had Embiid at 6. I think I had Joker at 5 and Embiid at 6.
Yeah. This is the podcast last year. Is that still on the feed? So Embiid at 5 for you. Zach has Tatum at 5. I have
obviously all of our top 4s are exactly the same. Now it's
the order now.
Yeah.
Number 4 for me. And I'll be honest with you, part of me wanted to switch this again last minute, but I'm gonna leave it alone for the time being. Because I'm gonna penalize this guy for not a bad individual year last year, but a bad team year last year. Luka, number 4.
Yeah.
Zach?
It's Luka 4.
Chris?
And I'm praying that he doesn't get a season screwed over by Kyrie.
I got Steph 4.
I find out where you work, I'm gonna beat you.
Steph he's the oldest of the 4 guys left. You gotta put Steph. He's the
oldest
one.
The only reason why I even consider putting him at 4, but I did not, is because the point we made earlier about Steph and the Warriors on the last episode about how the fact that
the team's gonna suck.
Well, not only that, but I don't think he's gonna get any better. I think we've seen peak Steph already. He may still stay peak Steph another year.
Yeah, he could be plateauing right now.
Yeah. But it's fine. He's 35 years old.
He's not going in his twilight, but he's too old. He has a chance to get hurt more than the other 3 guys.
Exactly, to your point. So 4 for Steph 4. We have Luka at 4. I got 3 Steph. 3 got Steph.
3 is Steph.
And 3 for you, Luka?
No, I'm going Giannis at 3.
Whoa, hot take.
He got bounced as a 1 seed in the first round.
To be
you
fair,
get dropped. You get dropped from the number 1 spot for
Wait.
bounced in the first round to the
So-
fucking Heat, who had to
you
lost and
have
won it for that.
you have Luka ahead of Steph and Giannis.
Yes.
And
I have him by
you're
MVP. What do you
criticizing
expect?
Giannis for getting beat in the first round. I assume you're criticizing Curry because he's old and got beat in the second. And yet a guy who couldn't make a play-in game.
oh God.
I get it. I totally get it.
We're talking
Tatum,
about-
four conference finals, 2 finals. Yep, he's shit. Jaylen Brown, 6 conference total shit. Yep. Let me put this guy. Oh my God.
Dame is going to steal some of his stats this year. That's why I have him lower as well, because he's going to have to share a spotlight with Dame. And Chris Middleton's healthier. His stats are going to take a little bit of a beating.
Okay.
All right. So 3 Steph from me, Steph, Zach as well, and then you got Giannis at 3. Interesting. 2, I got Giannis.
I got Luka too. I think he wins MVP this year. I think he's just going to put up a monstrous stat season.
I think there's a better chance Luka demands a trade than he wins the MVP.
Nah,
Playing next to Kyrie Irving, yes.
Not this year.
Dallas is A1 franchise. A1 franchise.
If Dallas implodes this year, maybe it's a playing out, but I don't see him imploding this year. I think they'll be better than they were last year.
He's already played 2 months with the guy. He goes and plays another season. He's gonna be like, "Fuck this, I'm out."
In fact, that's another honorable mention from my fantasy draft we did a couple nights ago. That was another honorable mention, was the Mavericks. Want to set up how plays out? All right, number 1's easy, obviously.
Should be 3-time back-to-back MVP.
It should have been.
Probably. I mean, I would have voted still Embiid, but again, this is a regular season award.
Remember what I said here?
Because scoring matters, not winning.
He had to average the triple-double.
But just scoring.
Well, he had to average the triple-double and be the number 1 seed in the West. And he missed about like 0.02 assists, and that's why he didn't get it. If he would have averaged the triple...
White. I mean, we gotta be real.
No, voter fatigue is the thing. Steph won back-to-back.
Of course it is. I mean,
Giannis won back-to-back.
Bro,
Jokic won back-to-back.
Kris, to your point, I lived through the Jordan years. Jordan's a GOAT, right? Probably. Oh, he has 5. Yes. He has 5. That's it. 5. That's all he has.
Yes, but at least the guys who were beating him every year out were actually, he was playing against them in the finals.
Yeah, Malone, Barkley, yeah.
But Embiid won the sympathy vote because he had caught runner-up all those years.
Exactly.
I mean, honestly,
he won the sympathy vote.
Honestly, Embiid kind of, it was a little weird. He got a little bitchy and whiny about the award prior to getting the award that last year. And it looks bad now, considering how bad he was in the playoffs against Boston last year. Yeah, it looks kind of bad. Meanwhile, Nikola Jokic put his head down and won a fucking title. Who you telling?
And he dominated. Like, Jokic dominated.
It is one of the greatest.
Like a 40-point triple-double against... Who would he do that against in the second round? Like, just on Phoenix? Just shit on them?
I would say...
Oh, I thought he did that same thing against AD. Like, first game of the series.
Yeah,
he put up like 40,
averaged like a 40-point triple-double for the whole series.
I would say, in my life watching basketball, individual playoff runs, that's top 5 all time for me. I've seen individual playoff runs.
Yeah.
It's Dirk-esque. It's
reminiscent of Dirk 11. It's Dirk 2011. It's Jordan 93 for me. It's
it was Kawhi last year or 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Kawhi Toronto.
Yeah.
Or not Kawhi Toronto. Oh shit, I was thinking Giannis.
Giannis 2 years ago, right?
Giannis,
yeah. It's up there. It's definitely up there. So
where none of the other guys were like bona fide all-stars. They're good, but no one was a bona fide all-star on the team,
right?
Except for him. And
I remember Middleton sucking ass at points during the Giannis one.
Yeah. So, guys, I like your list. I like your list. Not bad, actually. Not as I would say not as controversial as last year.
No, nowhere near.
I can't believe none of you guys had SGA even sniffing the top. Well, he had him at 11, but in the top 10, that's crazy.
Because because I want to see a larger sample. If I get another year of this of SGA, He's getting
No.
top 8. Like this
I
is
need
what
y'all to get somewhere.
not only that. Here's the thing too. Also, this is what I expect by the end of next year. Jimmy will be out of the top 10 by next year. Okay,
I already have him
so
out.
that's spot open for there. Jimmy, LeBron should be out next year as well too. Okay,
I already
so
have him out.
so there'll be 2 spots open for guys like SGA. Maybe AD makes a return back to the list after actually healthy-ish year this year. You can see you talk about De'Aaron Fox. He takes another leap. Maybe he's in the top 10 next year. Who knows? So probably not. But I'm just saying, this is the space for. I see those 2 guys. KD could be a guy that could be trending on the fringes again out too.
KD and AD are the 2 that I have at 9 and 10, with maybe Jamal Murray trending up, and then maybe if Ja just balls out of his mind back, because Ja should probably be there. So
right.
I mean, those 2 are for sure for me.
What we'll do some point this year. I think we'll review our list halfway point in the year, maybe on the All-Star break. We'll review our list again and see if we feel the same about this halfway through the year. That's a good idea.
I know one for the end of the year.
What's that?
If like Giannis or the Joker win a second ring, we might want to redo the top 25 players of all time.
Well, when we did the podcast about a year and a half ago,
it was a draft.
Jokic wasn't even on the list. Obviously, I would say, without even putting an actual number on it. Now, granted, the list we did wasn't all time. It was the last 25, 30 years. I think it was we did. So that's a little weird.
Yeah.
We haven't done a top 25 all time list though. Actual all time list. We probably should do that very soon. I don't see any other. I don't see any. I don't know. You want to wait till the end of the year to do that? Or do it now?
Well, I mean, if one of the guys wins another ring, it makes a huge difference where you place them.
So maybe we should wait till the year's over then.
That's what I was saying.
Right, because if Jokic wins another ring, because he's already my top 25 as his, he will take another leap into the top 15 probably at that point. Okay, Giannis is probably already my top 20, also top 25 at least, and he wins a ring. That's another leap also too as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah,
I mean, if KD were to get another ring, that would be a leap for me.
KD, yeah, it'd be a leap. I don't know how big though, because again, he's on a super-ish team.
He might not be the best player on his team at this point, and I don't know
if he's the best player still. If he's still the best player on the team, we'll see.
Yeah,
and we'll see how it matters on how it happens, how you win those titles.
Absolutely.
To me, KD retreating to another super team, it's just lost all credibility.
Let me ask you this before we get out of here about LeBron. I know we get tired of talking about LeBron all the time, but I had to bring it up here. Now, you're already there, Kris. You have LeBron number 1 all the time, right? You're there?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Okay, Zach. Let me ask you. So Zach and I are Jordan 1, right?
Yes.
Okay. And I've been saying for years that my only pushback on the argument is that Jordan 1, LeBron 2, yes, but it's closer than people give credit for. Okay, and that there is still room for LeBron to surpass him. If LeBron wins 2 more titles in the next 3 years before he retires, okay, yes, he's not 6-0, but now he has 2 rings in his 40s, okay, as the best player too, for the record. That has to be the best player on the team also.
He wasn't the best player last year on his playoff team. That has gone.
That's
gone. AD
if they win, it's because AD is dominating.
Yeah. AD is the best player for the Lakers at this point.
The man broke the all-time scoring record. He has every playoff record known to man.
Yeah, that's why he is my number 2 all time.
Well, here's the question: is there room for LeBron to pass Jordan? Or is that door closed in your opinion, Zach?
In my opinion, it is closed.
Okay. Then there's no
for me. When LeBron actually passed the scoring title, he became the guaranteed number 2 over at times where I think Magic is the number 2 greatest player.
Mm-hmm.
You do all of that, but what Magic did for 10 years in the NBA, I don't think in my life I've never seen it.
Yeah. Well, he's a favorite athlete all the time. I ain't gonna tell you no. So don't look at me. The only other guy that has another significant push into a massive ranking shift this year, it's not gonna happen. I think if Steph wins the title this year with this team, Curry wins the fifth title. Curry's right in my top 10 all time. Curry crossed that threshold last year when he won the title against Boston, number 10.
He still plans top 5.
He might get into that top 7-ish, because my 6 and 7 is my 6 and 7 is Russell, Duncan, Kobe in that order. 6, 7, 8. He gets that conversation now.
So go think about your list, because I know you probably got Kareem 3.
Mm-hmm.
You probably got Wilt
Magic
5.
You're correct. Magic 4, Wilt 5. Although I'm actually modifying the Wilt thing possibly going forward. We'll see.
So you got Duncan 6?
No, I got Duncan 7.
Duncan 7.
I got Russell 6.
Russell
Duncan
6.
7. Kobe 8. Bird 9. Curry 10.
So you think of those 4, the 3 guys I was thinking, they're all 6'10" or above. Whereas you look at Steph, 6'4", in a league where no one has dominated at his short size.
And now in his mid to late 30s now too.
Yeah. The smallest guy ever to dominate before Steph was Michael Jordan.
Right.
Because you're dropping Kobe because Kobe wasn't the most dominant force.
No, Kobe by
those championships.
Kobe by he wasn't Mamba great, but he was still, I would say by ring 2 and 3 it was like 1A 1B with him and Shaq. Honestly,
I would say he was 1B called 2A, but
right, but closer. It wasn't quite Jordan Pippen separation, closer than that, but yes.
No, but Steph never had anything like that.
No, correct.
So that's why I'm saying all these guys you're keeping ahead of Steph, even on your list. If he wins another ring, think about size. Just for 1 second, think about what size is in the NBA.
Yeah. That's why, well, to your point, though, as you close it out, the 3 guys that could impact an all-time list this year and at the end of this year, Curry, Jokic, and Giannis. I don't think KD can impact it the same way. KD could go up a little bit, but I don't think he'll crack a top 10 spot even after.
Here's a sick question for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Giannis, we're saying Giannis wins a ring. You know what that also says? Lillard wins a ring. What does that mean for Lillard now?
Well, Lillard's a top 25 player. That's all he'll get. I don't think he'll impact a top 25 list. Honestly,
crack anything higher than that.
He's not even close to 25. Is he top 75 all time? I'll give it to him.
Not in my opinion, but yeah.
No.
But
if he won a ring, I would maybe consider it, even because now he's a Robin. There are Robins that are in the top 75.
Pippen.
But wait a second. But what happens if Steph gets a ring and so does CP3?
Doesn't matter. CP3 lost his opportunity to climb that massive threshold.
I'm just going to have to cut myself.
And that's where we'll end the podcast. Good job, Kris and Zack, as always.
All right.